Chapter 20, Ghost King. Let's not talk about Zhang Xiaofan's sudden shock upon seeing Bai Yao. In the midst of the crowd, those demonic cult members who were just making a lot of noise quieted down immediately when Bai Yao appeared, seeming very wary of her. Even the wild-looking dog brother, who seemed fearless just now, fell silent. For a moment, no one dared to speak to her. But after a moment, someone coughed lightly twice, then slowly spoke. Miss Bai Yao, I have a few words to say. I wonder if I should say them. Zhang Xiaofan looked around and saw that the person speaking was the unfamiliar young man who was standing with Elder Nyan and others. At this moment, even Elder Nyan had a surprised expression on his face, seemingly not expecting this young man to suddenly speak up. Elder Nyan frowned and whispered to the young man beside him, Zhou, is this the place for you to speak? Bai Yao glanced at the young man, also seemingly unfamiliar with him, and asked Elder Nyan, who is he? Elder Nyan hurriedly put on a smile and said, he's someone newly recruited by our blood refining hall, named ZhuXian. Bai Yao snorted and said, never mind, let him speak. The young man named ZhuXian didn't show any signs of nervousness. He stepped forward calmly and said, Miss Bai Yao, as everyone here knows, you are the only daughter of the Ghost King, so everyone respects you deeply. The Ghost King summoned us to come here to search for the Kuyoks, and we are obliged to do so. However, he paused for a moment with a faint smile on his face, but his words gradually turned cold. However, now that the Kuyoks cannot be found, and the number of righteous sect members is increasing day by day, it is said that even the 7 leaders of Qingyun Sect have come. We are even less of a match for them. In this situation, the Ghost King Sect still lets us busy ourselves here without explanation. I'm afraid some of our fellow disciples will wonder, does the Ghost King Sect intend to use the hands of the righteous sects to eliminate us? There was an uproar among the crowd. Several people around Bai Yao, especially those who seemed to be from the Ghost King Sect, stood up abruptly. However, apart from those few people from the Ghost King Sect, the other demonic cult members, after the initial surprise, did not accuse this young man. Instead, they all looked towards Bai Yao with a cautious expression, and murmurs arose around them. Zhang Xiaofan couldn't help but worrying about Bai Yao a bit. At the same time, he thought to himself, why did this young man named Zhou speak like this? They were all members of the demonic cult, and there were so many factions. Could it be that the Ghost King Sect usually ... Just as he was thinking, he suddenly heard Bai Yao's cold voice. Who are you exactly to come here and sow discord? ZhuXian smiled faintly, showing no fear towards this high-ranking and influential beauty. He said calmly, I'm just an unknown junior who joined out of admiration for the holy sect. Compared to Miss Bai Yao, I am nothing. However, now that the righteous sect members are watching us like tigers, eager to kill us, and the Ghost King Sect is one of the 4 major factions of our sect, but at this time and place, they put us in danger without explanation. I'm afraid this is not acceptable, right? At this point, even Zhang Xiaofan felt that this Zhou seemed to be speaking gently, but every word was aimed at the Ghost King Sect, making his intentions more than obvious. But looking at the surprised expressions of Elder Nyan and others, it didn't seem like they were acting on behalf of the blood refining hall. At this moment, the other demonic cult members in the crowd became even more excited, and their voices gradually grew louder. Faced with the members of the Ghost King Sect and others, they also gradually showed hostility. Bai Yao frowned slightly, took a step back, and quickly whispered a few words to the people behind her. From a distance, Zhang Xiaofan saw torches burning, but they didn't provide much light. Beside Bai Yao was a tall man, and behind the tall man, there seemed to be a middle-aged man, but where he stood was dark and blocked by the tall man in front, making it impossible to see his face clearly. After speaking to the person next to her, Bai Yao turned around, took a step forward, and looked around coldly. Her beautiful face, as frosty as snow, under the dim light of the burning torches, had a desolate and melancholic beauty. The surrounding voices quickly quieted down, and everyone's eyes fell on her. Ladies and gentlemen, her voice echoed in the cave, the Ghost King Sect, like you all, are disciples of the Holy Sect, and we also believe in the Holy Mother of Darkness and the Divine King of Heavenly Wrath. Such acts of defying the teachings, even if the Ghost King sect is powerful, dare not do. Please rest assured. With these words, most of the people in the audience relaxed. At this moment, Elder Nyan let out a sigh of relief and quickly walked up to pull ZhuXian aside, whispering, "Have you said enough?" ZhuXian turned his head and smiled at Elder Nyan, then suddenly said loudly, "Since that's the case, we can rest assured. But Miss Bai Yao, please explain the matter of the Kuiox. If we really can't find the Kuiox, it's better for us to leave early. Otherwise, even if the Ghost King sect doesn't intend to harm us, we may end up dead at the hands of the righteous sect members." Almost simultaneously, everyone around Bai Yao and those dozens of people from the demonic cult shouted, "He's right. Exactly. Please, Miss Bai Yao, give us an explanation. ... As the surrounding voices gradually quieted down, Bai Yao withdrew her gaze from ZhuXian, knowing that now was not the time to argue. She said, "Everyone, even if he didn't say it, the Ghost King sect still has to give everyone an explanation. Actually, this time to mount flowing waves in the East Sea is for ... Boom. The entire huge cave seemed to tremble suddenly. Zhang Xiaofan and Tianyin almost stumbled in the depths of the cave, and the demonic cult members in the cave were even more surprised. Immediately, someone shouted from outside, "What's going on? Is it an earthquake?" But soon, they got the answer. The sound of wind outside the cave was roaring, as of thunder, and a powerful voice came through the long cave. "Demonic cult thieves, come out and die." The people looked at each other in dismay. Zhang Xiaofan and Tianyin exchanged glances, their faces showing joy. Upon hearing this voice, they recognized it as the voice of the chief elder king Song Taoist from the Dragon Head Peak. Zhang Xiaofan couldn't help but admire him. From outside the cave to here, there was still a long distance. Yet Taoist King Song's voice was so clear and resonant, and he even made the surrounding walls vibrate slightly. Such magical power and cultivation were truly extraordinary, far beyond his own. The members of the demonic cult looked at each other, and someone soon exclaimed, "How did they find this place, which is so hidden?" At this moment, ZhuXian suddenly shouted loudly, "Miss Bai Yao, this is a critical moment. Fellow Taoists, hearing that the Ghost King sect summoned us to mount flowing waves here, but unexpectedly encountered such a great danger, what should we do?" Everyone said in surprise, "That's right, please, Miss Bai Yao, say something." Bai Yao took a deep breath. At this moment, the sound of breaking wind outside the cave was incessant, indicating that the members of the righteous sects had received the news and were rushing over here.